What's up YouTube, it's Sean here and I'm super excited to give you guys my review of the Nike LeBron 20 in this Violet Frost colorway. Today's video is brought to you by Sole Savvy. Sole Savvy is a membership-based community of like-minded, passionate sneakerheads with a true love for shoes. And I've been a member of Sole Savvy for years now, pretty much a month after they started. And the thing I love most about being a member is that it gives me that one-stop shop so I know exactly what's releasing, where and when. And as a member, they give you a ton of perks such as sneaker website monitors, add to cart links, training sessions for big sneaker releases, and recently they introduced Sole Savvy Collect, which is an online sneaker marketplace where you can buy, sell, trade, and show off your collection, and you know that anyone you're dealing with is going to be legit because they've all been individually vetted by Sole Savvy. And if you guys are still skeptical about becoming a member, they also offer a mobile-only plan for their Drops app, which gives you access to sneaker release guides, sneaker raffles, and drop alerts that go straight to your phone. So if this sounds interesting to you guys and you want to learn more about potentially becoming a member of Sole Savvy, I'll add a link down below in the description box and be sure to tell them I sent you. So this right here is the highly anticipated 20th signature sneaker for LeBron James. These LeBron 20s debuted with the Time Machine colorway, and though I don't know if there's an exact release date for this pair yet, but this Violet Frost colorway is surely one of the upcoming colorways to release soon. So this pair is going to retail for $200 US, which is the equivalent to roughly 270 Canadian dollars, and the official colorway for this shoe is Violet Frost, Purple Pulse, and Metallic Gold. So the first thing I want to say to you guys before we actually get into the meat and bones of this review is that this review is coming strictly from a casual or lifestyle use perspective, because honestly I have just way too many ball shoes that I have in my rotation, and to put it bluntly, I was just excited to buy these to wear these casually. So if you are looking for a performance-oriented review, I'm sure there's a ton of other channels on YouTube right now, and I won't take any offense at all if you want to skip this video. For anyone else that's sticking around for this video, thank you and much love, and let's just get right into it. So the LeBron 20, when it was first unveiled, the first thing the majority of people were saying was that this is an imitation of a Kobe sneaker. And while I can see where they're coming from, obviously this being a low top and much more of a stripped down and minimalistic model, especially when you compare it to the handful of signature LeBrons that have released throughout the past few years. When you think LeBron and Nike, typically you think of a very bulky shoe, a ton of max air, and basically the polar opposite of a sneaker like this. But in my humble opinion, I don't think it's actually that similar to a Kobe shoe. Other than the fact that this is a low top, in my eyes at least, this almost looks more like an evolution of the LeBron Ambassador 13, or even a reinvention of the LeBron 8 low. And for those wondering why all of a sudden a low top, well, according to what I read online, this sneaker was designed for future generations of ballers. And there's rumors that Bronny and Bryce, LeBron's sons, were actually involved with the design process. But I don't know how much truth there is to that rumor. But either way, you can't really deny that modern day ballers, especially the youth, they usually prefer low top, more lightweight sneakers as opposed to super bulky shoes like past LeBron models. And as LeBron is probably nearing his retirement from the NBA, it makes sense why he's starting to think about his legacy going forward and what impact he can leave on future generations. So first things first, here's a quick look at the box. And as you can see, this comes in a gray colored cardboard box done in the shelf style. On the top, we have the words "Strive for Greatness," along with a listing of all the teams that he played for and the years. And then on the bottom side of the box, you can see we have XX, which is actually cut out from the exterior box, which of course is the Roman numerals for the number 20. And throughout the sneaker, you'll see there's a ton of X references, which I thought Nike did a really good job in implementing. So taking a deep dive into the sneaker, the majority of the upper, this is constructed out of this knitted material, which unlike traditional knit found on Nike sneakers, this is a much thicker and much sturdier sort of weave, and almost has a feel of like a burlap-like material to the touch. So don't get me wrong, it's still a very flexible material, but it's probably not as breathable as maybe traditional fly knit. Wrapping around the medial side of the toe box, we have what feels like a synthetic nubuck-like material, and we have a bunch of these graphics lasered out of it. Surrounding this middle portion of the shoe and wrapping around the back, we have this bright orange colored piping, and then where the eyelets are, this is constructed in sort of a salmon pink sort of material, which looks like a tumbled leather, but it's actually more of a synthetic material instead. On the lateral side, we have two Nike swooshes, which gives the shoe more of a casual use appeal. The top swoosh is done in this gold colored vinyl-like material and has a bit of an iridescent finish to it. And this vinyl material is stitched onto a secondary layer of TPU, and you'll notice that the edges of the swoosh aren't completely stitched onto the body of the shoe, which kind of reminds me of the look of the ambush dunk highs. Underneath this, we have a secondary swoosh, which is constructed in more of a bluish purple nubuck, and you'll see that the stitching across it is done in this X-like fashion, which is again a nod to the fact that this is the 20th model for LeBron. And right above this, we have this oval-shaped eyelet, which is done in this metallic purple colored finish. When you compare this to the medial side, so on this side, we only have one swoosh instead, and this is constructed out of that same purple colored nubuck with this pink contrast stitching around it. Stitched onto the bottom of the heel, we have this rectangular leather patch with the LeBron crown logo and the number 20 in Roman numerals lasered out. And then the top of the heel is covered in this purple colored nubuck, which has this nice tumbled look to it. So turning our attention back to the front, so weaving through the laces, these come with this lace doubre or lace lock, which features the number 20 again in Roman numerals. The laces themselves are done in this pale purple color with this contrast tan stitching across it, and the laces feel very soft to the touch. And you'll see they intertwine through this diamond-shaped cutout of leather with these flywire cables crisscrossing across each other, forming the shape of an X. Underneath this, the tongue is constructed out of that same knit material that we saw earlier on the body of the shoe. And then overlaid on the top of the tongue, we have more of that orange colored piping that we saw earlier on the body of the sneaker, and the top of the tongue is covered in that pale purple nubuck, and we have the bronze signature embossed in the center, along with the Roman numerals for 20, stitched in the salmon pink color. And once again, adding to the whole casual use appeal, the edges of the tongue are also unfinished, exposing the layer of foam within. On the back side of the tongue, we have this pink colored rectangular tag, and like I mentioned earlier in the review, on the right shoe the tag says, designed and engineered to the exact specifications of the next generation instead of what they usually say, which is LeBron James. So the interior of the shoe is lined in Nike Sphere technology, which in simple terms is basically a foam padding that sort of has a dimpled treatment to it, which means it will mold to the shape of your feet. And then moving on to the insoles, these come with their standard foam line insole. It's covered in this violet colored textile on top, and we have the circular tag stitched on the heel with the number 20 in Roman numerals once again. So the upper of the LeBron 20 sits atop this full-length Cushlon foam carrier. Cushlon is basically a softer phylon, but because it incorporates more of a rubber compound within it, it gives you more of a responsive feel as well. On the forefoot, you can see we have this almost paisley-like graphic, and from a technological standpoint, on the forefoot we have a top-loaded zoom turbo unit, which is basically an oval-shaped articulated zoom, and then on the heel, we have a bottom-loaded zoom unit for cushioning and impact protection. And you'll see that a portion of the rubber outsole wraps up and onto the forefoot on the medial side, and we have this small purple circular hit with the LeBron James crown logo. Turning this pair over to the bottom, so the outsole here is done in this sail color, and it features this all-over multi-directional traction pattern, along with a purple colored Dunkman logo on the heel. And in the middle, we have this diamond-shaped cutout, revealing a carbon fiber shank plate, which is there to help with torsional rigidity and midfoot support. So that breaks down the look and the construction of the LeBron 20. And for those wondering about sizing, so I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and I got these in a 10.5, which is a half size up. So I feel like if you have a wider foot, and especially if you're going to be wearing these casually, then I would probably recommend going up a half size. Getting these a half size up, there was about a finger's width between the edge of the shoe and the top of my toe, and it fit me very comfortably all in all. But maybe if you have more narrow feet and you like more of a snug one-to-one fit, especially if you're going to be playing ball in them, I can definitely see why you can stick true to size with these as well. To give you guys a point of comparison, I also go a half size up in the Kobe 5 and Kobe 6 Pro Tros as well. So whatever size you wear for those models, I'd stick with the same size for this silhouette too. Next up, in terms of the comfort, so these feel very comfortable on feet. If I had to compare these to a Kobe 5 or Kobe 6, in my opinion, it feels like it has more of a beefier setup. The combination of the two zoom units on the forefoot and the heel, along with this Cushlon carrier, the end result is that your feet feel very cradled, and while it feels very cushioned, at the same time you don't lose too much of that ground feel at all. If I had to compare this to a Kyrie or a Kobe, I definitely feel like those models have more ground feel, but this pair definitely has more cushioning, so I'd say that it's a bit more of a balanced feeling sneaker. And for someone like myself wearing these casually, these absolutely feel great on feet. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, I honestly thought that the material quality was really nice. For a performance basketball sneaker, where I'm so used to synthetic materials and infused-like materials, it was a refreshing change to see actual leather used on this pair. And the overall build, I thought it was pretty flawless as well. I really had no issues at all with the craftsmanship, so my first impression just opening up the box and getting these in hand, I was very, very impressed. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, it's been a long time since I've been this excited for a signature LeBron James sneaker. And I'm seriously contemplating collecting a ton, if not all of the colorways for this model that's gonna release, because I'm just that big of a fan. I think it works so well from a casual use perspective, and from other people's reviews that have actually played ball in them, it seems like this is a very solid basketball sneaker as well. And whether or not you see this as a Kobe ripoff or just simply an evolution of the LeBron James line, I think this is definitely what fans wanted a lot more than what we've been getting, and I definitely welcome that change. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Nike LeBron 20 and this Violet Frost colorway. What are your overall thoughts on the silhouette and this colorway specifically? And for anyone watching, do you plan on picking up one or a few pairs of the LeBron 20, or is the silhouette not really speaking to you? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check me out on Twitter at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully it helped you in some way. Another shout out goes out to Soul Savvy, the sponsor for today's video, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.